Hello and thank you for attending this session on real estate investing for group homes. There's a growing opportunity for investments in the real estate for the purpose of group homes. These group homes can be classified as adult foster care, intermediate care facilities, adult care homes, youth transition. These are homes where youth are transitioning into adulthood for a short amount of time. Youth group homes in general, where a home is supplied to youth for 24-hour care, and behavioral camps. Let's talk about the terminology that we'll use throughout the presentation. A facility. This is the home or building used to house the residents. We use the term facility generically. This can be a house, it can be a warehouse that was converted to meet codes of a living space. Residents, clients residing within the home. Operator, these are the people that are licensed to operate the facility. These are the actual caregivers in many cases. They're also called the administrator. They're the person licensed to operate the home. The leaser, this is the person leasing or renting the facility to the leasee. The leasee is the operator or business renting the facility from the leaser. And then license. In every state, you must be authorized to operate a group home within that state. The license is tied to both the administrator and the physical location, not necessarily the owner of the home, but the location itself. We'll have to start off with a disclaimer. The following content is provided as general information only. Mileage may vary from state to state, from situation to situation. So all information should be verified prior to making any decisions. All information is subject to federal and state licensing requirements. As I mentioned before, every state has a requirement to be licensed, and that changes from one state to another. Estimates are general and should not be used as final. There are no guarantees, so no guarantees are implied or expressed in this presentation. It is information only. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about the types of group homes. For the sake of this presentation, we've classified the types of group homes into three categories. There's the fragile. These are adults that are aging, but they're aging with dignity and they're within the community. They require 24-hour personal care, and they require, much like any other adult, they require that the environment is suitable for living. The protected. The fragile are also sometimes considered protected, but again, for this particular presentation, we're talking about children or adults that are in the custody of the state, requiring 24-hour supervision. And then the specialized. These are adults or children that have social or psychological deficiencies that require 24-hour care. Let's talk about the group home industry in general. There is a large push for getting rid of the institutions. And there's a steady effort of people that are moving out of these large institutions into the homes. There are community initiatives. It is much cheaper to have a person live in the community than to live in a large brick and mortar building with a large staff. The aging, the baby boomers are coming, and with the baby boom, the nursing homes are very expensive, so it makes a lot of sense to move the baby boomers into the community where they're well respected, they live life as they would normally live, and they're able to socialize in a normal environment. So that's the industry in general. When we talk about the opportunity, the house is the main aspect of the business of investing in the real estate for group homes. Just in general, the bedroom space should be about roughly 90 square feet for the first resident and 30 square feet for each additional. You can have, in many states, 2 residents. It's in rare cases you'll want to have 3 residents in a room. We would highly recommend against having 3 residents in a room. Accessibility. Handicap accessibility ramps are required for certain licenses, especially for the aging, the elderly. Elevators are sometimes, on rare occasions, required if the residents are living on the second floor, especially in New York. That is a firm requirement for some of their licenses. Fire protection, depending on the license again, some states require sprinkler systems for partial, or some require for the entire home. But generally speaking, if there are 5 residents or less, there will not be a fire protection requirement in terms of sprinkler systems. Zoning, this is a huge consideration. There's no special zoning for 4 to 5 residents. It's when you get above the 5 residents you start to get into zoning considerations. Now, this may not be true in every state. It could be 3 in some state and 5 in other states. So you'll want to make sure that you check the zoning. There is a return on investment. You can count on steady rental income. By the nature of the license, there are annual and there are often pop-up visits that the licensing departments provide, and with that you can expect that your property will be well maintained to meet all of the requirements of the license. There cannot be any damages within the property in order to maintain that license, and that's generally across the board. You can also expect a long-term lease agreement. Instead of a 1 year or month-to-month, you can look to have a 5-year lease agreement with the company or an operator. Touch on some of the general home requirements. Just like any home, it has to be livable. The roof has to be in good condition, good venting, windows without any drafts. That's a key one. You can't have any air coming through the windows. It needs to be properly covered and surfaced in all appropriate areas. So where sidewalks are expected, you must have sidewalks. There should not be gravel and then sidewalk and then gravel. It should be evenly spread out. Downspouts should move water away from the property. Should be air conditioner in most cases. It may not be a requirement for some states or some licenses to have air conditioner, but that's something that you'll want to make sure you understand prior to entering into an agreement. The home should be in good repair in general, livable. Let's talk about bedrooms. Bedrooms, we mentioned the square footage, but there's nothing really specifically unique about a bedroom. We mentioned that you can have two beds in a bedroom, but as you can see here, these are 2 twins. They're fairly close together, but they're clean. The bedroom is very simple in nature. It's like any other home. You'll want to get away from looking like a nursing home. And then the common space, you want spacious, open as much as possible. Investor resources. You can register your home in the U.S. as a potential facility at www.grouphomebiz.com. There are grants for group homes. You can go to the portal at thehud.gov and search for group home or residential care grants. And then if you want additional information on starting a group home, if you want a little more detail, you can go to the link that we provided here, or you can call a consultant at 513-898-3307.